some people have a real difficulty voicing that assertiveness, which I see as within the context of anger. I think anger and assertiveness is a positive element of anger, and confidence in the same way activates the
Mhm.
nervous system in a similar way. Whereas people have a really negative conception of anger because of how they were raised and what they've seen around. And anytime they got angry, it never served them in any positive way. So let's say they tried to voice their opinions and then they were shut down even more. And but
Sure.
now it's not part of their day to day, although it may be in some workplace situations or that sort of stuff. In those contexts, people would tend to bottle or are more agreeable. Uh, how can they learn to voice that tension that's coming up for them?
Nobody ever never says type thing. So you can on lots of levels. So say if I was working with somebody on that level, I would find examples when you were able to say no. And then from a somatic, when you did say no to whatever situation it was, then you, from a somatic point of view, you go, well, how did you feel? How do you feel right now when you bring up that memory or of when you said no? So that's what in the therapy room I would do that. On another level, you kind of wanting to sort of stimulate the anger in the person. For me, anger is the most misunderstood feeling in our culture, and it's most of the time it's given a really negative perception because, for obvious reasons, it gets acted out inappropriately, and it's just not. And people don't have good role models of how to be with their anger. Natural aggression is healthy aggression. I think that's what they call it. Yeah, it's healthy aggression, which is completely appropriate, as you mentioned before, around setting boundaries and is needed in certain contexts. It's not there for nothing. It's a feeling that's required in certain contexts. And so it's learning to practice and be with the feeling without feeling shame about it or guilt about it or asserting oneself for those people that, as you say, have to hold it in because it's never been valued or wasn't supported and allowed to be a part of their repertoire of who they are. When they can be assertive, and if they wanted to be assertive, there's certain situations when that they allow themselves to be assertive and focus on that and be with that and see how that felt. And then sometimes you have to push your edge a little bit, and it's an experiment. Well, what's the next safest level for me to be able to express a no or express or assert myself when I don't want to do something? That could be with a friend, a close friend who is not going to leave you because you've said no. So I think it's about doing it in safe context first, and then learning to be and see what the impact of that is on you and how you respond to it, and then take it up a notch by pushing that edge and into another thing that has a little bit of anxiety about doing it, and then see what happens. That's what I'd be suggesting.